Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of No Tea, Just Coffee. I am Jordan.
And I'm Tam.
And today's episode, or the meat and potatoes, is Male Oblivion.
Oh boy.
Sorry guys, we're going to get into some stuff.
Don't talk about it.
We apologize in advance. And the shoot the shit is who you are or what you have. You know, is it what I have as far as like assets, you know, house, car, clothes,
Material things, yep.
Material things, or is it
morals,
values? Who are you as a person?
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Male Oblivion. Hold on the inside, I want to be like more because let's talk about it. I mean, of course, this is from Tam and I's perspective, a female's perspective of being in a relationship with a male and feeling like, WTF?
They just like
is
no
the
clue.
microphone on?
Are you listening? Hi, hello.
Are we in this? Are we on the same page? Because sometimes it feels like, well, another episode Tam was talking about, like, you're not gonna say sorry as if we didn't experience the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, males will ride it out until the wheels fall off before absolutely necessary.
Or it's not even that. Or they literally don't get it. It's one or the other. And he'd be like,
what do you mean?
what?
Yeah. That is very true, because in your mind, we can think of things like all these things and then we explain it, and that's not at all their experience with what happened. Like, they don't even know.
I sometimes feel like, because, you know, I'll hear this every now and again. I sometimes feel like when it comes to men or like the woman in their life, like they're upset or whatever.
Yeah. And
they just like me, I just start to express my frustration about something or whatever. For the male's perspective, I feel like what they hear is wah, 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 right? So in some cases, they're hearing, right?
Just the sound.
They're hearing the fact that, or my boyfriend, he's hearing the fact that I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm trying to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
But he's not listening to what I'm actually saying. So in that case, yes, he's very oblivious to what the hell I'm even upset about. So it makes it hard to come to
a conclusion
or resolution. Yeah.
It's almost like when we say, can we talk? It's like dun, dun, dun. Like for guys. And it really is like, but we do need to talk.
And it doesn't have to be that scary.
Or that negative.
Right.
Because communication is very key.
Yeah.
Because here I go on down this path and we didn't split somewhere in the road because you thinking one thing and everything is cool. And I'm on a different path and I'm like, we're not good.
Right.
And you didn't went through the flower fields just skipping along. And meanwhile, we like, I need to figure this out.
Right.
We need to be on the same page. So, guys, when we say we want to talk, it really is just so we can have some resolution, especially for the female, so that we can feel okay with either the argument or the situation, or just come to an agreement of understanding.
But I feel like, okay, I was just listening to you say that.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely insane that you even have to explain that. Why else would we want to talk about something? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Now, don't get me wrong. You have different women, okay? You do have some that are that rah, they just gonna, you know, but then you have others who aren't and who literally just want to like talk about whatever situation that's happening. You know what I mean? But I was listening to you explain that and I was like, well, duh. Like, guys, what else would we want to do?
For some reason, guys, it's almost like we're the mom and they're the child. You know, when the mom is like, I need to talk to you. And automatically you think you're in trouble. I don't know where that comes from. Guys, please let us know in the comments, because it's like, I'm not like your mom. I just need to know what's going on, or let's talk this through.
That's irritating too. Like, if I say like, hey, we need to talk.
Now, okay, now we
Now we really gotta talk.
Now
okay?
I got attitude. Now I got attitude. Like, but it's never anything. It's never attack mode.
Right.
But I do think guys like Alfred sometimes has a guard up. It's like, I'm like, no, wait a minute. I'm just talking.
Right.
It don't have to be a battle of the bands all the time. Like, I'm not even trying to go that route. Now, in the past, I may have not approached it in the best way. So, and I was just talking to my sister, like, my communication has gotten better in the way that I come about it. Sometimes I was like driven with an attitude, or it would kind of be a little aggressive, but now it's just like I literally just want to talk.
I mean, well, now that you say that, I mean, from his perspective, he's probably like
he ready.
Not PTSD, but like,
no, for real.
You know what I mean? Like how maybe you once were to like how you are now, but like,
I mean, we used to be like two bulls in a china shop because we both are very headstrong.
Right.
Now it's like, I'm too old to argue. I don't want to argue. I don't even want to raise my voice unless I'm yelling at my son because he did something right. But listen.
I always tell people, like, I hate arguing. I hate arguing. It's just too much energy. It always leads to just badness instead of just talking about it. But
but I think I would really like to know, like, why males don't. It's the avoidance. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and then some. There's other situations where they try to act stupid. Okay, let's just call it what it is.
Call a thing a thing.
Okay, they try, like, you try to act stupid.
Like, what?
Right, or like you don't know. So then on the other end, it upsets us, and you like. Yeah. Then that's where the
hold on, but
arguments
after that, they're like, I mean, you mean. Why you ain't say that in the first place? You knew what I was talking about.
The whole time you knew what I was talking about.
The whole time. Like, and I wish I could just walk around here with the question mark on the top of my head. I don't get that privilege. Oh, what? Hey, no, I don't get that. I have to be very aware and understanding. Like Tam said, you got to think about the other person first.
Yeah.
Like, women are tasked with thinking about everybody else and being the motivator and the cheerleader, but it's like,
yeah, I think, and this is just from experience, I can't speak for all men, but I just think in general, like, they be avoiding, man. They be avoiding. And as soon as you want to talk about something, whether you're literally just wanting to talk, it's like just this instant like switch or something that like turns on, or like this immediate wall or something, and it's just like literally I'm just trying to talk about a situation
that you're fully aware of,
and I'm not even upset. I'm just wanting to talk right now.
Literally, I'm talking like this.
Right.
And now you got turned up. Calm down, sir.
Right. Bring it down.
Tommy. Now I got to talk to you like I'm a teacher. Sir, sit down. Just hold on. And I really want to know, like, where does that pattern... It could be like from your mama getting on you about something because we are just a woman, and instantly it's like, oh, shoot, I did something wrong.
Yeah,
what you want now?
That's a good point.
But I will say, like, there has been so much resolution with me and Alfred because of us getting together and him honestly saying, okay, like, I understand where you're coming from, or I know there's an issue, or whatever the case may be, because then instantly honestly, that's moving on.
Look, honestly, that's all it takes. What did Escape say? What I need from you is understanding. And that's real, though. Like, understanding or just, like, acknowledgement of a situation. Yes. But that whole, like, being oblivious to a situation, acting dumb about a situation, like, all that's doing is putting fuel to the fire.
That's exactly right.
Even if you don't agree, like, really what we're wanting is just the understanding. Like, put yourself in our shoes in this situation, and vice versa. Vice versa. But man, I'm telling you, as soon as you want to talk, boy, they don't know what's happening. They forget their name, and like they just don't know what's going on. Right?
Who are you? But I think to Tam's point, it's like if you don't address it or talk about it, it festers. And then it can become a larger issue. Like if you're always avoiding or never really taking accountability, the female is over time going to build up a wall. She's going to resent you. And then it becomes a bigger issue because my feelings, like Tam was saying, my feelings are not being validated.
Yeah. And also we had talked about this another episode. Like you start to create your own narrative about something.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so like I am unnecessarily getting even more upset over something that was really small that could have just, you know, we could have talked it out or whatever. But again, the male oblivion of just like who, what, when, where, why, like, that causes more friction when it's unnecessary. Yeah. Like, why would you want to do that?
I mean, especially because if we're in a relationship and it's supposed to be a partnership.
Right.
Partners talk things out.
They're
Partners
supposed
come to an understanding. Like if we go down to the basics of it, like if I'm going hard for you, you do have to. It's not just about what somebody can do for you. It's about you understanding them and validating their feelings and just making them feel like they are truly in that partnership. And non-avoidance is a part of that.
Yeah.
So when you avoid, like I was saying, it could start out with something, you know, we got into an argument and you don't want to talk about it. Well, now 4 or 5 days later, we get into another argument and now it's like a blow up, or we start talking about things that have nothing to do with the initial conversation because we didn't talk about what happened 30 days ago. It's just like building blocks.
No, that's real. But I feel like that's, one, avoidance and like just having no idea what my problem is. I think those are two different things, right? Like I understand like some people don't like that friction or, you know, conflict. Yeah. Some people don't like that conflict. So like, okay, can we talk about it like another time? Okay, that's cool. But to not even know what I'm even upset about, irritated about, that's what just makes the situation even worse for me. Because that the first thing I'm saying is in my mind, like, where were you this whole time?
Because I saw you sitting right next to me.
And I made it very clear what the situation is. You know, like you know what it is. You know what I mean? And so that's why it's like sometimes they act. Yeah. I want to emphasize act like they don't know. Stupid. Okay. But they really do know. They really do know, right? And then other times they don't, because completely again, clueless. they heard us talking, but they weren't listening to exactly what the issue is. That's what's upsetting.
Well, and that's on the female side. It's like, I just talked to him about this. Why do we have this circle pattern keep going around and around? Like we just talked about that, and I think it's because sometimes males do zone out. Like you said, they do absolutely. The what'd you say it was, the want want?
Yeah, from, Charlie Brown. Want. Yeah.
And then it's like, we just talked about this, and you're still doing the same thing. And is that because you're not listening? You just hearing me? And
okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, go.
Well, okay, so again, I think that's a little bit different. Yeah. If it's this, okay. That's a whole nother thing. Like, okay, now we've actually talked about it, right? Like,
or I've talked about it and you were just there.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking like, and you know, I would really like for you to be more in tune with da. You're like, yeah, but really, he thinking about the football game that's coming on at 6:00. So now, 30 days, 60 days later, we here at the same couch talking about, I would really like you to. Well, that's because you wasn't listening to me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they're just like the yes man, you know they ain't listening. For me to have a conversation with my boyfriend, there has to be like
dialogue,
like call response type of deal. That's how I know that you're like, it's an actual conversation that we're having, and not me just talking and him just be like, okay, no. No. I want to actually talk this out. I don't want to just talk. Yeah. We have to talk about this together. Yeah. Whether it's a situation he's upset about, whatever. But yeah, if you just okay, nah, you ain't listening. I already know you're not listening.
And really, I understand. I'm fully aware that guys don't like to talk in the way that we do. You know, like we try to get to the root of it. So I'm understanding of that as well. But again, it goes back to that partnership. If we can't, me personally, it makes me feel like a good decision has been made when my husband is like involved in it. When it's a major decision or something that we need to come to grapple with, and we move forward with the same decision, that helps just the household, just the strength of the relationship, instead of I'm making the decisions or I'm coming to a resolution of the issue. I'm not in a relationship by myself.
Right.
So you have to be present and not be so oblivious of it, because we're going to have this conversation again.
Yeah.
I mean, the feeling is going to come back up. Females tend to be a little more emotional when we speak, or have more emotion to our tone. I don't know if that scares them as well too, but we're just emotional beings.
Yeah. But even still, like, even when you're not, it really is like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because I'm not really one to like, I'm not like ain't you that. I actually don't do that. Like, that's just not my way of communicating. I really think it's just about like that phrase, hey, we need to talk.
I know.
like as soon as that is said, instantly it's like, shut her down, you know?
Panic mode.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
But then again, you know, not actually knowing or paying attention to what it is that I'm saying, that's what's going to get me a little bit more hyped up. You know, that's what's going to make me raise my voice up, maybe one octave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like just off rip, like for me, that's knock the mic off. But for me, I'm not even that way. And so it's just this thing of like, we need to talk. And then like if they're even in the mood to, it's like we gotta go through all these hoops just to talk.
All these extra emotions. Yeah. For
he like,
a
nope.
minute. It's like, okay, if I talk now, he gonna want to watch the football game. If I talk now, he about to go to work. If I talk like, why I gotta figure out.
Let me put this in let me look at your schedule.
Exactly. Can we talk at 12 p.m. tomorrow? Dang it, can we just have this conversation and move on?
Right.
Like, I don't know. And I guess I really would like to know where that comes from, because males, and I'm not trying to like be rude, but they do get the privilege of having the oblivion that I don't think that I'm able to have, just be oblivious.
Yeah. It's not even, I mean, I can act all day. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I mean, I can act that way, but I get what you're saying. You like, just, it's not in our DNA to just like be that way. Unless we are intentionally doing that.
Because we can play the game almost better.
Yep. Period.
Because I will be on mute. Remote mute in this household. Oh, you don't want to talk? I will go mute right now. And I won't have nothing to say. And I'll move on. Just shucking and jiving in the house, cook me a little something, watch my little show.
Acting like nothing's really wrong. Everything's all gravy.
Right.
And
like, oh, it's fine. We good.
Really knowing there's a fire over here in the corner. We know how to do that too.
It's fine. It's good.
But I get what you're saying. Like, we don't have like,
we just don't,
the privilege, that sounds so crazy. But I get what you're saying when you
But it's just not, like you said, it's not within us to have an issue and not resolve it. Or to, I mean, I guess sometimes too, with Male Oblivion, I know there's like a trend that sometimes like when there is like a wedding or something, like the male doesn't have to have his input. Because it's just like, oh, I don't know anything about weddings, and
I thought that was more like old school. Like nowadays, I feel like they be.
I have still heard that, like, whatever she wants, but that goes to like, this is supposed to be a partnership. That's a lot of stress. Relationships are stressful. Large decisions big decisions are stressful. Don't play the male card and be like, well, she know what she wants. She can take care of it. It's like, no, it's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like, be involved too. So
I feel you.
Yeah, guys, what is it? Let us know. What causes the oblivion?
No, why do you act stupid sometimes? That's what I want to know. Okay.
It's like I mean, we
keep
all
hitting. I'm sorry. This mic.
I think you can back it up a little bit.
I know, it's like right here. Okay.
I mean, we got new mics, y'all, and these are fantastic. You don't have to be so close, but I think you're used to the other ones.
Yeah, sorry. Continue.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
I don't know either. This mic distracted me.
But yeah,
I have nothing else to say outside of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I think this came about from, you know, just situation of, I mean, look, we experience it all the time, okay?
All the time.
And, you know, I mean, I can think of a situation recently where I was upset about something. And, yeah, he had no clue about what I was upset about.
I guess, do certain things just not matter? Maybe some things don't matter to guys as much as
see, it's not even okay. If that is the case, then that upsets me, because if you see that I'm bothered, irritated, anything outside of happy and joyful about any situation, and you don't care enough to just try to figure out what's going on, that's a problem. I got an issue with that. I have a huge issue with that. I'm gonna need you to care.
Yeah.
Because
one thing I know in my household, I pretty much control like the temperature. You know what I mean? If I got an attitude, everybody got an attitude. You know what I mean? Everybody's tiptoeing. So it's like, you know, women, we kind of run the course of the relationship. We have that control where we kind of, you know, if we got an attitude, then nothing else is moving forward. Or if something doesn't sit well with us,
that's real.
The relationship is not moving forward.
That's real.
So,
yep.
I mean, why not talk it through? Why not say, I understand what you are feeling, or whatever if you feel, you can feel the energy from your woman.
Absolutely.
Especially if y'all been together for a while.
Ooh, we don't know how to fake the funk.
No.
Don't know how to do that.
Because our body energy is everything. You can feel our energy. And you know it's off. So just address it. And she's going to respect you.
That's it.
A lot more for that.
Yep. Agreed.
So, okay. You ready to move on to shoot the shit?
Yeah, we can shoot the shit.
Okay. So again, the shoot the shit is who you are or what you have.
What's more important?
What's more important?
What I got? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Cars, clothes, shoes.
Kidding.
But if
I think it's a combination. It's a combination of both for me.
I think it is a combo, but I think it's really heavy today is about what you have. Like,
oh yeah, with social media and stuff and how they flash it.
Yeah.
For me, it's not. It is a combination thing, right? Like, the more I advance in my career or whatever the case may be, I do want to. I want my environment, living space or whatever to kind of reflect that a little bit. Now, I'm not out here just like, you know, getting diamond necklaces and rings and da-da-da. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, in some aspect or in some way, like, I want to, that is important to me. Right.
I think at the heart of it, who I am, I think would be more important for me because of just like, I don't know, it's just because I continue to like work on myself and continue to prosper in that way. Like, learn more, educate myself more, just become, you know, better in my communication. Like, I'm always trying to be a better individual, whereas I do like nice things. But I think I would say who you are to me is more important. Now, I'm not going to sell everything tomorrow and say I need my materials. But I think who I am is something that I would say, like, because I have been around people and it's like they got everything. They have very nice things, but they are not horrible, but they're not really good people.
So for them, it's material.
It's material.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not split. It's not an even split, right? It's probably more like a 70-30 type of deal. Obviously, yes, who I am is important. Like, but I'm not gonna sit here and say like material things are not neither, right? Because I mean, if you think about it, like the way you grew up, or maybe the environment that you grew up, you're always trying to advance and improve in just like your living space, or like your goal is to get a house, or your goal is to get this, that, and third. So for me to sit here and be like, no, I don't care, I would be lying, right?
Well,
but
I think
it is more like a 70-30 for me. Because yes, who I am, like my morals, my values, how I treat the people around me in my inner circle, like that is important, and I try to keep that same energy around me. But like I described earlier, as I grow in my career, I do want something, and there are only certain things that I would want to like reflect as far as like my growth in my career. And honestly, that would probably be my vehicle and my living space.
And honestly, as you were talking, I'm like, who you are has gotten you where you are.
Absolutely.
So that's why I think that's what I meant. So more so is like who I am, because I think if you're a hard worker, a go-getter, or have a lot of drive, I think it will allow you or afford you to get those things. Because if you don't work hard, you have poor morals and values, you will not excel or not have certain opportunities afforded to you, which then will allow you to get a better car, get a better house. But I think I also kind of thought about it from a sense of like, here I go with social media. But it's really heavy about what you have. It's like cars, clothes, jewelry, hair, all these things that are artificial to me, which I think, they do aesthetically look good. But I'm always like, but who is that person? Like, are they a good person? Like, we don't want to always emulate that. Like, what kind of values they got? Like, who are they as a person?
Yeah, I mean, so if you're asking what's more important to the people I have around me, then it would be like who they are. But me, what's in me specifically, it would be the 70-30. Because I mean, even like, okay, prime example. At one point in time, so I get my nails and my toes done every 2 weeks.
Okay.
At one point in time, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Right? Or like my lashes, I get them refilled consistently every 2 weeks.
Yep.
At one point in time, I couldn't do that. So that's what I mean. Yes, who I am is always going to be at the forefront of just like what's important,
Yeah.
But just the simple fact that I can now do those things, which would be materialistic things like your nails, toes, lashes. Like, it's like I can actually afford to do those things every 2 weeks. When at one point in time, it was like once a month, maybe once every whatever. But now I am fortunate enough to be able to keep those things up,
Yeah. And I think, because you've done the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get to that space. I think some people go, like I think about like relationships, now more than ever. I'm always telling my niece, like, I don't care if he got a nice car. I don't care if he got money or he flashing his chain, which may or may not be real.
Oh, that used to be a turnoff to me.
But it's like, that's
used to do that.
Really heavy now.
They got
a ton of jewelry, which you don't know if it's real or not. And you don't even know if that's his car. You never know anything. It's all a facade.
Yep.
And I'm like, you got to talk to him for a little bit.
Right.
See what his mind is. Yep. What his mind is like. What's his goals? Like, there's nothing worse than like getting a lemon. You're going to get a lemon. He all good on the outside, but sour on the inside, he ain't good.
Yeah.
So I just watch, these young people. I mean, some in our generation too that really go towards individuals that have all of the assets, but they are not good people.
I could think of plenty of people. I mean, even I could think of like high school, like friends were like, he was able to get my nails done. And I'm like, okay, I've never been, that has never attracted me ever. Yeah. Ever. And I've met some people, right? And I can remember one time somebody really saying to me, like, do you know who I am? Like, do you know what I what I
hate
got?
That.
And I literally looked at him and said, did you just say that to me? And
I
walked
that.
And I walked away. Now, keep in mind, someone, it's a famous person, right?
Right.
What
that mean?
What that got to do? What you? No.
Am I supposed to bow down?
Right. I'm like, how are you? Who are you as a person?
That's exactly right.
If you really think that money and things and stuff like that is gonna, I'm not the one for you. It's clear that you're looking for someone who is going to, praise you and like bow down over the fact that you have A, B, and C, and D when I can really care less.
Because here's the thing: at the end of the day. And this is like such a cliche saying, but money does not buy happiness. No. Because, okay, say you go for the guy, but he is actually a horrible person. Mm-hmm. Now you in too deep and you don't know how to get out, but he paying all your bills,
everything,
or he's taking care of your whole entire life. Now how you gonna get out of that?
Let me tell you, I've never even understood that neither.
That's a trap.
It like even, and I'm even gonna say like, because I've thought about this too, like even if it was a thing of, I don't know, it could just be, I'm an independent person, but I can't see myself not having my own, regardless of what me and my boyfriend have together, how much more he's making than me or whatever. I just personally cannot see myself not having my own.
No.
Because what ifs? What if some?
Absolutely.
What am I gonna be like? You know what I mean?
Left with nothing.
Yes. I've never understood that.
Mm-hmm. I think of it like, and that's because my dad has always taught me like you always got to have a plan B.
Absolutely.
And not that I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but you do as an individual and being raised to be independent. Always have you a plan B. Like you don't want anybody to be able to ruin you in a sense or
dictate anything.
Dictate what like especially being grown.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about to be living my life as if I'm your child.
Right.
Checking in. Can I? No. Mm-hmm. Like I worked hard enough to become who I am to have what I have.
Right.
And of course, you're gonna meet guys, and I have, like Tam was saying, that have a lot. Mm-hmm. Cars, clothes, and they are nice looking and all that, but the attitude is trash.
Oof, horrible.
Like the ego can't fit in this room. It's like
it's because they're used to getting individuals like that. So it has to for sure. It has to be about the person.
Yeah,
and if you do have all the extra bells and whistles, that's just a plus.
That's a plus.
But at the core, for me, it's about the person, and this is in all my relationships.
Absolutely,
like my friendships.
That's a good point.
Even like my friend coworkers, like literally any type of like relationship that I have, I need to know who you are.
100%.
Because if you're not about the right, I cannot put you in this circle of mine. Mm-mm. I just can't do it.
No.
So.
And that is the thing. Like when you said friends, I have seen situations or know of situations where people will be friends with someone because of what they have.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, how? Mm-hmm. And Tam and I had just talked about that. Like that word friend is used so loosely. Yeah. It's like, if I call you my friend, it's not because of your assets. Mm-hmm. It's because I genuinely am intrigued by who you are and want to get to know who you are. Mm-hmm. And we, have some commonality there. But people do go out in life snuggling up with people. Yeah. Getting close to people that have things that they want. But I never understand that because it's not yours. Mm-hmm. Their name is on that, not yours. Right. Like that is not yours. What I have can't be yours, but it could be if you work as hard as I.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like we're real heavy in a time where it's about like, oh girl, he got this, he got that. He flued out, like all that stuff. It's like temporarily that's good.
That's that generation though.
But long term, where I want to see myself with my significant other, whoever that may be, for them, like that longevity it ain't gonna be there.
Yeah, I mean, And I think it's also a beautiful thing if, you're talking about relationship wise to grow in that together.
Yes.
That's facts. Like to grow in that together. Like at the core, you know who this person is.
Yes.
Right? You know that this person is a genuine person, a loving person, a caring person. And neither one of you may have started where you wanted to be, but to grow in that together, now that's a beautiful thing right there.
It really is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
started from the bottom, now we're here.
Hey. So that was just a little thing to put out there for people. Peace of mind for me when I have friendships and my husband, the people that are around me, I know that they genuinely care about who I am. Yeah. And vice versa.
I am curious though for those who look at it if you're going into something specifically for just
100%.
I wonder if that stems from everything really stems from your upbringing.
Definitely.
And so I wonder if that stems from the fact of they've always had to hustle or they've always had to do certain things to get what they needed. Yeah. And unfortunately, they've just grown into that. And if so, that's a very sad and unfortunate situation.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, there are individuals who that is their thing. That's their hustle.
100%.
And they have no problem
to latch on to you, to then latch on to who. And that's a recent situation with one of my friends. Had a friend, and I could tell she's latching on to my friend, not for my friend, but for what my friend has, who she hangs out with, her circle of influence. I got that right away because I can tell when someone is not genuine.
Ooh, I've had a friendship like that.
And it's like, that is not your friend. And I could tell because I know I don't expect her and me and my friend to have the same type of relationship. Her and I have been friends much longer, but I can kind of tell the way you moving with her that it's not genuine, and so that bothers me. So I'm like, I think it's a little bit of an opportunist.
Yes.
And because I know that person and who her friends are, it started to make sense because those friends that you hang with are the same way. They don't have that genuine way about themselves. So I kind of knew okay, this might be a little bit of a situation.
Yeah, I've had a friendship like that. And I was actually the one that peeped it while the rest did not, right? But I also know where it stems from too.
Okay.
Not to say that it made the situation any better, any easier, but I knew, I just knew the source of it.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately we are no longer friends, but it does go back to just just the upbringing and what they've grew up with or did not grow up with having.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Which is a very, again, sad and unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
And while I am a very giving and caring person, I can't. It's probably not going to sound good, but I can't save everybody's life.
Oh no.
I just can't. And also I actually tried to we tried to make it work.
Yeah.
But it took a lot out of both of us. Honestly, I'll say it took a lot out of both of us. But,
and that's a good point of your upbringing because I do know people personally that have had tumultuous relationships with their mom or their dad or and so it's kind of every man for themselves. So I do recognize that there are certain upbringings that bring about that type of behavior.
Absolutely.
But I also don't have a lot of grace after a certain age. After the age of 30, I feel okay, you need to start working on yourself and recognize certain things because we all have had trauma in one way or another. And if you don't work on yourself and continue to have that type of behavior, it's kind of I'm questioning just where you going out. Where are you headed in life, period? You just gonna crash and burn? What's your, ammo at the end of the day? I don't get nobody no grace. Well, I do understand where you came from, but man, you need to start working on yourself. I don't have no grace for that.
Because it's It's only so many times that you can use certain things as an excuse for me.
No,
and
I agree.
After a while, I'm like, okay, you need help.
Right.
Like literally, like you need to go.
This is
find some
beyond
help.
me.
Yeah, I am not. I'm not the therapist. I can only listen for so long.
Ayala, I'm not gonna save your life.
Right.
Like Tam said, I can't save your life, and that's really what it is. Is draining when you try. This wasn't a long friendship, but I had to end it because it was like, I'm not sure who you are, and your behaviors are like sucking the life out of me every time we're around each other. So it's time to go because I know where I'm headed, and I don't think you're heading in the right direction. So, anywho, anything else on that topic?
Nope.
No. All right. Thank y'all again for tuning in with us. And again, like, share, follow,
comment, subscribe, all that jazz,
all of that. And please do not forget, no tea,
just coffee.
Bye.
Bye.